Hey, hola chicos, bueno, vamos a empezar. Es la primera vez que juego a esto. Y la verdad es que le tenía muchas ganas. Y lo han puesto gratis en Epic Store. Eso es muy épico. El juego de palabras que es ahí es buenísimo. Buenísimo. Mañana supongo que haré directo. La cosa es que quería jugarlo ya y por eso. Nada, jugaré 20 minutos, una cosa así, un poco de esto, un poco del otro y ya acabo.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
Vaya,
Others might
eso es
have
lo que voy a hacer yo siendo
considered
programador.
Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Normal.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, but this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Bueno, me callo ya porque esto... En este juego, espérate, voy a ver si puedo ponerle los subtítulos. Vale. Lo pongo en español para que lo entendáis todos. Descriptivos... No, normal. Hostia, tengo que reiniciarlo. Pues mira, en inglés, mira, que os den por culo. Lo siento, chicos. Es que en este juego hay que estar muy atento a lo que dice el narrador. Porque... No puedo
All of
abrir
his
esto.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Vale, sí, que básicamente hay una cuarentena y no hay nadie en... Solamente está Stanley aquí porque es el único que no se ha dado cuenta de que, claro, hay una cuarentena. No debería pagar esto, no sé si debería pagarlo o no, pero bueno. A ver... Supongo que todas estas puertas están cerradas, no creo que pueda abrir ninguna. A ver qué pone aquí. I hate Mondays. Mira, como Garfield. Bueno, como todo el mundo realmente, pero bueno. A ver. Oh.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Vale, que dice que entre por la izquierda.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Pues mira, sí. Quiero pasar por ahí para verlo un poco, saber qué hay. Ay, qué bonito.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Pero que si no puedo beber nada, porque dice que... Yo quiero una Coca-Cola, tío.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
A verla. Oh, no me había dado cuenta. Qué bonito. Hostia, pues ya podrían haber puesto...
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Vale, chicos, sí, me acaba de decir que todo el mundo se ha ido porque soy muy raro por quedarme en una habitación mirando la nada.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue. But when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Vale, la verdad es que tiene razón, estoy aquí parado, esperando a que me diga algo de muévete, pedazo de mierda. Para no hacerle caso, obviamente, la verdad, pero bueno, vamos a seguir para
But at
adelante.
last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
A ver, dice que vayamos por aquí. Es que no sé si hacer la primera jugada por el camino indicado, o sea, haciéndole caso al hombre este o saltándome todo lo que me está ya diciendo, por ejemplo, yendo para acá.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Vale, sí, que me ha dicho que soy tan malo con las instrucciones que me deberían haber despedido. Vale. Vale, sí que te ponen una multa por saltar del ascensor este. ¡Ah!
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good
Pensaba
job,
que no me
Stanley.
dejarían.
Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Vale. No, pensaba que iba a haber una barrera invisible o algo. Creo que ahora empieza de nuevo. Vale, pues primer final
All of his
desbloqueado,
co-workers
supongo.
were gone. What could it mean?
Venga, voy a...
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Es que esto es un poco malo, que si tienes un final tan rápido... Input red. Pero, que yo quiero... Vale, si tienes un final tan corto, realmente lo único que consigues es que luego tengas que volver al inicio muy rápido y como que te puedes cansar un poco, pero bueno. Que pensaba que había un puto muro invisible, hostia.
When
Vale,
Stanley came to a set
voy a
of
seguir
two
por donde
open
iba
doors. This
antes.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Sí.
Perhaps he wanted to
Lo que tú
stop
digas.
by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Vale, chicos, 427. Eso era
Yes,
esto, ¿no?
this
No,
room.
sí, supongo que sí.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Que no quiero volver al trabajo, hostia, que hay una cuarentena, que me tengo que ir a mi casa. Que me lo ha dicho...
Stanley was so bad at following
Me ha dicho mi mamá
directions, it's
que no me
incredible
deja.
he wasn't fired years ago.
A ver, supongo que si me subo aquí ya esto se empezará a mover solo, ¿no?
Look, Stanley,
Ahí
I think
estamos.
perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really.
Hostia, como me caigo otra vez.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
Oh,
Someone you... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
a ver, básicamente me estaba contando, cuando estaba allí, me estaba contando su vida de que soy un egocéntrico que solamente pienso en mí. Y cuando me he tirado, pues se ha quedado como macho. ¿Qué haces? ¿Por qué? Pero claro, que me da igual. Yo hago aquí lo que me sale de los cojones, voy a hacer... Mierda.
Now listen carefully,
voy a
this
hacer
is
lo que me sale de los
important.
cojones. Así
Stanley
te lo digo.
walked through the red door.
Vale. Yo creo que está el chico este está jugando con mi mente, quiere que me meta por la roja, pero en verdad quiere que me meta por la azul. Y me voy a meter por la azul.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood.
Que no,
Stanley
que me quiero meter
walked
por la
through
azul.
the red door.
Quiero...
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked
sí.
through the red door.
Que me meta en la roja. Pues no.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Vale, creo que esto es el
You
final.
see?
No,
There's
sí,
nothing
verdad.
here.
Dice que
I
no hay
haven't
nada.
even finished building
Me
this section
cojones,
of the map
siempre hay alguien.
because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
Ay, qué bonito.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
No, es que la tercera... A ver, básicamente se ha quejado de que no le ha dado tiempo a acabar el juego y me he metido en un sitio en el que no debía estar. Pero no me voy a meter por la tercera, porque es lo que quiere. Pero, ¿qué es esto? ¡Ah!
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
A ver, realmente yo creo que con más opciones pues tenía un...
A one? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a one? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Vale. Vale, se ha quejado de que le he puesto un 1 y ahora... Vale, ¿por cuál nos metemos, chicos? Ah, es mentira porque no es un directo, así que puedo hacer por donde quiera. Hostia, que cuánto tiempo me tiro para meterme en la puerta correcta. No sé si esto será verdad, tío. Ojalá sea verdad. O sea, estar en el 1000 y pico sería la hostia. A ver, venga.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Vale, es que sí, que me ha tenido más motivado el tener un competitivo ahí.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Que no quiero jugar a tu juego. Ay. Vale.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Vale, voy a dejar que se queme el bebé. Lo siento, chicos, voy a dejar que se queme. No, a mí me da igual el bebé.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Vale, vale. Se ha picado un poco porque se ha pensado que su juego no era bueno. ¡Ay! Esto sí.
Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough?
No me deja romper los bloques.
Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house.
Joder, chicos, pensaba hacer el directo de Minecraft mañana, pero ya lo estoy haciendo, o sea que...
This will go.
Ya le está creando la casa.
No, here, and then...
Se supone que está creando la casa, pero... Ah,
Let's
aquí.
see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes,
Ah, pero no me deja.
it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. Ah, but you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
Mira, yo creo que se va a picar si no entro. Pero voy a entrar porque, claro.
Isn't it grand?
Es
Isn't
que...
it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Venga, ahora hay que picar, venga. Yo... Ya está, es que este juego tiene todo. Tiene Minecraft, tiene... Tiene Minecraft, tiene...
Oh my,
Hostia,
it
que
looks
me
like
da
it's
una
going to
hostia.
get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
¿Por dónde voy? Ah, venga, chicos, pero no tengo pico.
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear.
Right.
Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5.
Hostia, qué
Even
miedo.
the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
Joder, tío. Que estaba justo... Había justo encontrado un diamante, tío.
Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious.
Vale.
Let's go find
O sea, lo siento,
out
había
what the hell
un
this
problema.
is.
O sea, se ha cortado un poquito. Vale, estamos jugando ahora al Portal. Perfecto. O sea, soy un mago jugando al Portal además. A ver. ¿Cómo se hacía esto? Ah, vale. Te lo juro, el Portal también lo tengo por aquí. Podría jugar algún día también. La verdad es que es un juegazo. O sea, soy un...
It's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley.
Macho, pero es que... Aquí estamos, ven. Me habré pasado el Portal 2 o 3 veces ya. O sea que estos... Los primeros niveles me los sé de memoria. O sea que...
You know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games.
¡Oh! Qué cabrón. Me ha quitado el Portal. Vale, no sé por dónde ir. Por aquí me muero. ¿O no? Vale, no me muero. Llevo un pasillo que da un poquito de mal rollo. A ver. Vamos a intentar buscar la mía, que es la 427. Por aquí está 423. En verdad yo creo que me está llevando la mía, indirectamente. 425. 427, aquí estamos. Vale, pero ¿puedo hacer algo aquí? Esa es la pregunta. Yo creo que no. Puedo pulsar botones, pero no hacen nada. Vale, a ver, a lo mejor... Es que estos pasillos están mucho más rollo, tío. Ah. ¿Qué pasa?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
La verdad es que ha tenido bastante razón. O sea... Nos hemos creído el héroe de esta historia, pero en verdad... No. End is never, the end is never... End is loading. Bueno. Y volvemos a la ubicación 427.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Vale, creo que lo vamos a dejar
Stanley
aquí.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No, espérate. Espérate. Por ahí. No. No es la misma, ¿no? No es el mismo camino.
When Stanley came to a set of
Sí,
two
sí, sí,
open
sí,
doors,
sí.
this was not the correct way to the
Me da
meeting
igual.
room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
No, pero es que
Perhaps
es
he
eso,
wanted
no
to
estaban
stop by
los
the employee
ordenadores de
lounge
principio ni
first,
nada de eso.
just to admire it.
No, pero tiene toda la pinta de ser
The
bien.
lounge was sublime, a work of art.
No, es
What
lo
was
mismo
it
de
about
antes.
this
Lo siento,
but eager to
chicos.
get back to business,
Se va a acabar
Stanley
el
took
vídeo
the
ya.
first open
Así que
door on his left.
luego si eso sigo jugando. Mañana jugaré. Mañana jugaré otro. Venga, hasta luego, chicos.